Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Abdul Karim Alias from University Science Malaysia. Welcome to this video series on the topic of engaging learners in online session, and this is part 9. In the previous videos, in the previous lessons, I have discussed about the community of inquiry theoretical framework for engaging online learners. This is one of the established and popular model which we can use to design online course to get good engagement of students in our online course. So basically in this model, there are three components or three elements. One is so-called social presence, second one is cognitive presence, and the third one is teaching presence. So I have discussed in the previous videos the social presence and also the cognitive presence. And in this video, I will focus on teaching presence. So teaching presence, basically, if you look at the definition here, is the design. The first part is about the design itself, design of the whole course. Then there's an element of facilitation. How do we facilitate learning? How do we facilitate the learning activities? How do we facilitate discussion? How do we facilitate the collaboration between the students in the assignment or in the learning activities? And the third element is the direction of cognitive and social processes for the purpose of realizing personally meaningful and educationally worthwhile learning outcomes. So in other words, to achieve learning outcomes for the course, the way how we design the course to incorporate the elements of social presence as we discussed in the previous video, and also to incorporate the elements of cognitive presence. So this is part of the whole design, and to make it happen effectively, the element of facilitation is also very important. So in other words, simply explained, teaching present includes designing and developing the course and guiding and supporting the learners during the course delivery. So let's look at some tips here. The tips for developing teaching presence. First, set clear expectation for students. So again, this is very important to communicate our expectation, to make it very clear, how we design the course, how we structure the course, and how we would deliver the course in terms of how we get, how we arrange the content, everything, and the learning activities according to the structure. So we have to explain to the students clearly and set our expectation clearly, how we want the students to, to do what we want them to do, and so on. Be visibly present in the course every weekday if possible, or be substantively present at least 4 days a week. So this is all about the presence, in the course, so that the students feel that we are always there, guiding them. We take the role as a guide by their side, not the stage on the stage. Coach and guide learners to keep pace with their learning and think deeply about what they know and why they know it. So in teaching presence, we take the role as a facilitator, we take the role as a coach, as a mentor. So all this, as part and parcel of teaching presence. Answer questions regarding activities and assignments. So be responsive, and encourage other students also to help each other. Encourage and acknowledge student contributions. Use announcements to ensure students are aware of responsibilities, due dates, and other activities. Communicate via email or phone to privately provide gentle and firm guidance as needed. Inject knowledge from diverse sources. Diagnose misperception. Confirm understandings and summarize discussions. So the bottom line is teaching presence is manifested in everything the instructor does to guide to support and shape the learner's experiences. So in a nutshell, these are the essence or the elements of teaching presence in the context of this community of inquiry model. So if we look at this is one of the article. Well, it's too. This is one of the articles from this website, Spring Arbor University Communities of Inquiry on teaching presence. So if I just scroll down, I want to show you this diagram here, very good diagram. So the communities of inquiry teaching presence, there are three parts there. The course design itself, then the element of the facilitating discourse and direct instruction. So the course design, we have to define the learning outcomes and weekly objective, provide engaging, relevant, and appropriate learning activities, communicate expectations for student and instructor participation. Facilitating discourse, encourage thinking out loud and openness for all ideas, reinforce and encourage student participation, and model appropriate contributions. So we have to, model appropriate contribution here means we have to show how, how we have to show how to, to do something in terms of how do we discuss, how do we interact, how do we share resources. So the teacher, the teacher, should show that, should demonstrate that as an example for the students how to do it. Direct instruction, provide frequent constructive feedback and guidance, present content in an effective and focused manner, and add human dimension in multiple ways. So let me show you one of my course here. So to show you some examples of how I make my teaching presence felt by the students. So, I make a point to to always engage and interact with the students, respond to their post like this. You can see here, so just show you and share my course and how I interacted with my students here. So we have to take time. The teacher has to take time to really say something, something meaningful, something useful, giving feedback, giving advice, giving guidance. So that's where the elements of mentoring, coaching, advising, facilitating, all this is part of the teaching presence. And the third part is actually direct instruction, where we can also give them, direct teaching using the resources like PowerPoint and so on. So that part is actually part of the teaching presence as well. So this is basically the idea about the teaching present as part of the community of inquiry model. Especially on the facilitation, I would like to encourage you to explore further. So you can also look at on my course here. You can find the link in the description below the video. Engaging online learners. There's more detailed content here on the strategies for learners engagement, models for learners engagement using the community of inquiry. So there is more you can find on this course. And on the facilitation part, I would like to recommend you to enroll in this course, Facilitating for Success. You can find the link in my module here under this menu, Establishing Connection. So this is a course, Facilitating for Success. This course mainly basically focuses on on the facilitation aspect in the online course. It's very comprehensive, very good course. So I would highly recommend you to enroll in this course as well to learn more about facilitating online course, so that you can design the elements of facilitation as part of this community of inquiry model, which would result in good learners engagement in your online course. So that's all for now. So I have basically covered the three main components in community of inquiry, which is social presence, cognitive presence, and teaching presence.